Hey there, I'm Matt Burns, and we're live here at CES 2014 at TechCrunch's wonderful booth. I'm sitting here with James Park, CEO and co-founder of Fitbit. I'm really excited to have you here because I just have to tell you, I have not taken this thing off in months.
Yep, awesome. That's the intent of the device. So.
Yeah. But to be honest, it hasn't made me lose any weight yet.
Well, we can't control. I mean, we try to control that, but ultimately, it's all. It's got to start with you.
That's on me?
Yeah, it's on you. We can help a little bit. Maybe.
That's what you need to work on next.
Yeah.
So what is next for Fitbit, though?
We have a lot of research going on in sensors, but really our focus is, can we make wearables, especially in fitness, mainstream? I think there's been a lot of question marks around that. So
Sure.
A lot of our focus over the past couple of years is making sure that we have a lot of different products out in the market because there's no one size fits all. People talk a lot about the wrist, but the wrist isn't everything. Some people like to wear watches, some people don't. Some people have a watch they like and just want to complement.
Of course.
Other people just want something that's very discreet.
Well, you guys launched at TechCrunch 50 5 years ago?
Yeah, September 2008. It was an
Yeah.
awesome conference.
And you had a pocket one at that point.
It was a Fitbit, we call it the Fitbit Classic at this point. It's just called the Fitbit back then. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it was a clippable product. I think at the time, all people had seen before were very cheap pedometers or very expensive GPS watches. So it was something very new in the market back then.
And now you have 5 products on the market?
Yeah, we have 5 products. We have Fitbit Zip, which is our entry-level tracker. We have the Fitbit One, which is our more advanced clippable product. So a lot of people clip it on their bra or just drop it in their pocket. We have 2 wrist products, the Fitbit Flex and Fitbit Force. And then we have a connected body fat scale as well. So we're trying to give people a pretty comprehensive view of their health.
Now, it took you 5-6 years to get to this point from your launch.
Right.
And I'm assuming it was a couple years before you launched.
Yeah.
But my question is,
Okay.
where are we going to be in 5 years in terms of wearables?
I think the exciting thing about wearables is that unlike smartphones, where I think everything's consolidated into a few basic form factors, like you've got your 3.5 to 4-inch basic smartphone, you've got your phablets. With wearables that go on your body, I think there's going to be a lot more diversity,
Sure.
just because people are really sensitive. So for me, it's really exciting to see what are all the different form factors and approaches that are going to crop up. I think we see a little bit of it at CES this year. And I think the big question too is, are people going to adopt this technology? There's been some notable kind of meh products that have come out, and that's made analysts and people question whether consumers can adopt it. But the great thing is there's this organization called MPD, which tracks retailer sales data. They just released stats that showed that fitness trackers actually grew 3 times this year over last year. And Fitbit as a company owns about 67% of the market right now. So
That's a significant portion.
Yeah, so we're the leader, and we're a leader in a category that's rapidly growing.
As a journalist, I should know this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. So who's your biggest competitor then?
Again, we have 67%, so the rest of the market's kind of split between, if I had to name people, Nike, etc. I think the tough thing for a lot of these new announcements and new companies this year is, how do they get the mind share, the name recognition, and the distribution?
Mm-hmm. Now, Mr. Park, you've co-founded Fitbit. What was your biggest mistake going through this whole process? Tough question, right? Whole different set of questions.
Yeah, there's been, I don't know, I can't.
Tell me
many
your
mistakes.
secrets.
Too many mistakes. Honestly, when we started the company, my co-founder Eric and I, it was very difficult to raise money for a hardware startup. So if something like Kickstarter had been around, that would have been awesome. But we had to really struggle in the early years trying to raise capital with investors that were pretty skeptical of hardware investments. So I think our biggest mistake early on was maybe not raising enough money. And there are a lot of really sleepless nights where a single mistake at the wrong time could have sent us under.
So if you were to launch a company now, how would you do it? What would be different?
I'd totally launch on Kickstarter. Eric and I would have a lot more experience about manufacturing, marketing, taking products to market. So maybe we'd cut our mistakes down by 30%.
Yeah. Now, you guys announced today that you have a new partnership for accessories.
Yes.
Right?
So another big part about wearables going mainstream is to make them attractive as well, not just for men. I think problem is all the press and entrepreneurs tend to be more male, but we have a huge partnership with Tory Burch that we announced, and Tory Burch creates awesome line of shoes and fashion accessories for people, and they're creating pendants, bracelets, and other wristband accessories for the Fitbit Flex. So I think a big trend over the next 2 years for wearables is the fusion of fashion and technology.
So is the Fitbit Flex one of your more mainstream products, one of the more popular
Yeah,
ones?
it's definitely a really popular product. Again, it fills a need where there's people who don't want to wear a watch or have a watch they like, so
Sure.
that they buy the Fitbit Flex.
I'm a big fan of the Flex. I think it's very comfortable. My one complaint, though, is this does snap off sometimes. It's not the most secure thing. So what's next for you guys? How are you going to involve this?
So again, with wearables, once you get products out in the field, there's a lot of things we learn, and we're going to be constantly making improvements on our products.
Great. Well, Mr. Park, I really do appreciate you stopping by here. Now, as you're walking around the area here, what's the coolest thing you've seen so far?
I just got here last night. So,
Really?
Yeah, but I'm really excited. I've devoted about a day and a half to just walk the floor. So.
I've been here for what it seems like 4.5 weeks.
Okay.
But it's only been like 3 days.